In 1945, the United States had a list. A short list, the most important list in the history of modern warfare. The targets for the atomic bomb. Kyoto was on it. Not just on it, near the top, military planners had made their case clearly. Large population, strategic value, and something else. Something that made Kyoto unlike any other target on the list. It was the cultural soul of an entire civilization. Destroy it, and Japan's will to fight collapses overnight. That was the argument. One man said no. He crossed Kyoto's name off the list, himself, personally, and when the military added it back, he crossed it off again and again. Not because of strategy, not because of troop numbers or blast radius calculations, but because he had once walked through this city's temple gardens on a quiet morning, and he understood something that no military planner had written into any report. Some things once gone are gone forever. On August 6th, Hiroshima. On August 9th, Nagasaki. Kyoto survived. But here is what makes that survival extraordinary. It was not the first time the city should have been destroyed. It had already burned to the ground, more than once. It had already been the battlefield of a 10-year war fought street by street, inside its own walls. It had already been abandoned by the very emperor who built it, stripped of its capital status after 1,000 years, and left to rebuild itself from nothing. Every single time, it came back. To understand why one man risked his career to save this city in 1945, you have to understand what he saw when he walked through it. So today, using advanced AI reconstruction, we aren't just going to tell you the history of Kyoto. We are going to rebuild it from the ashes, right before your eyes. And that story starts at the edge of a mountain, 1,200 years ago. The year is 794 CE. Emperor Kammu has a problem. His capital, at Nara, is no longer his to control. Buddhist monks have taken over, not with weapons, with influence. Temple abbots are lobbying the court, manipulating imperial succession, and accumulating land and wealth that rivals the throne itself. Kammu is a practical man. He doesn't argue with the problem. He moves. His advisors survey a wide river basin, surrounded on three sides by mountains. The Kammu River runs clean and cold from the north. Chinese geomantic experts tell him the energy here is perfect. Mountains behind for protection, water flowing south for prosperity. He gives the order: build. What rises from this valley is Heian-kyō, the capital of peace and tranquility. It is designed from scratch, modeled on the great Tang Dynasty capital of Chang'an in China, the largest, most sophisticated city on earth at the time. A perfect grid, broad avenues running north to south and east to west, a central boulevard, Suzaku Avenue, nearly 90 meters wide, lined with willow trees. At its northern end, the Imperial Palace, its crimson gates visible from every corner of the city. Within one generation, Heian-kyō holds 100,000 people, one of the largest cities on earth. The emperor has given this valley its destiny. But destiny, as Kyoto will learn again and again, never stays peaceful for long. For the next 4 centuries, Heian-kyō becomes something the world has never seen before. Not a city of warriors, not a city of merchants. A city of beauty. The imperial court becomes a sealed universe, a world where the color of your robe announces your rank, where a badly written poem can end a political career, where the quality of your calligraphy tells people everything they need to know about your soul. The most powerful family at court is not the emperor's family. It is the Fujiwara. Through generations of arranged marriages, placing their daughters inside the imperial household, the Fujiwara slowly, quietly accumulate influence until they effectively run the government. Their most dominant figure, Fujiwara no Michinaga, composes a poem comparing himself to the full moon, lacking nothing, never diminishing. He is not wrong. But politics fades. What the women of this court leave behind lasts 1,000 years. In 947 CE, the Kitano Shrine is built in the northern part of the city. Not to celebrate a victory, not to honor a king, to apologize to a dead man. The scholar Sugawara no Mikazan had been falsely accused by political rivals. He died in bitter exile, far from the capital, forgotten. Then, lightning struck the palace. The crown prince fell ill. The court panicked. There was only one explanation they could accept: his angry spirit. So they built him a shrine, deified him, named him the patron god of scholarship and learning. Today, over 10 centuries later, millions of Japanese students still leave wooden prayer plaques at his shrines before examinations. A man destroyed by injustice becomes the god students pray to when they are afraid of failing. History is strange. Then, around the year 1000 CE, something happens in the lamplight of the imperial palace that will outlast everything this court ever built. A court lady named Murasaki Shikabu begins writing. What she produces is the tale of Genji. 54 chapters, hundreds of characters, over 1,000 pages. Written in a flowing script called hiragana, an alphabet she and her contemporaries essentially invented, because the formal written language felt too rigid for what she needed to say. The Tale of Genji is widely considered the world's first novel. A psychological portrait of court life so precise, so emotionally complex, that scholars are still debating its meaning 10 centuries after it was written. She writes it here, in this city, in these rooms. In 970 CE, something else begins, something that will never stop. A plague is killing the city. Priests organize a procession through the streets, carrying 66 ritual spears, one for each province of Japan, praying for the gods to relent. This is the first Gion Festival. It happens again the following year, and every year since, without a single interruption. Through wars, through fires, through epidemics and occupations, and the bombing of neighboring cities. The Gion Festival of 2026 will be its 1056th iteration. Every generation in this city, for over a millennium, has participated in the same ritual. Children growing up to pull the same floats their parents pulled, watched by their own children, who will one day do the same. The festival is not a recreation of history. It is history, still moving through the same streets. But while the court writes poetry, power is migrating. Two great samurai clans, the Taira and the Minamoto, have spent decades building private armies. In 1156, and again in 1160, they fight in the streets of Kyoto itself. The emperor cannot stop them. The aristocrats watch in horror as the world they built, this exquisite, delicate world of silk and verse, begins to crack. By 1185, the Minamoto win a brutal 5-year war across all of Japan. Their leader establishes Japan's first military government, a shogunate, not in Kyoto, but hundreds of kilometers away in the east. The emperor remains in Kyoto, sacred, revered, ceremonially absolute, but for the first time in 4 centuries, no longer governing. In 1397 CE, one man builds something that will define Kyoto's image forever. Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, the shogun of Japan, builds a private villa in the northern hills of the city. 3 stories, the upper floors, entirely covered in gold leaf, sitting at the edge of a mirror-still pond. Kinkaku-ji, the temple of the golden pavilion. It blazes in afternoon light like a structure that has no business being real. It is not just beautiful. It is a political statement, carved in gold. It says to every rival, every foreign visitor, every emperor who sees it, the shogun is not merely powerful, he is magnificent. 70 years later, it is all gone. Not the pavilion, everything around it. In 1467 CE, 2 of the most powerful samurai clans in Japan bring their armies into the capital. Nearly 165,000 soldiers inside the city. The dispute is about shogunate succession, politics, power, but what follows has nothing political about it. They fight in the streets, in the temple courtyards, in the aristocratic gardens that took generations to build. This is the Ōnin War, and it lasts for 10 years. By the end of the first year, entire estates are ash. By the third year, temples standing for 5 centuries are rubble. By the 7th year, most of the population has fled. One court diarist surveys what remains. He writes simply, "The flowery capital has become an empty field of desolation." Historical records and temple accounts from the period confirm the full scale of what happened. Entire districts erased, never rebuilt in the same form again. The war ends in 1477. Not because anyone wins, because everyone runs out of will to keep fighting. The Golden Pavilion survives. The civilization that built it in ruins. For a century after the Ōnin War, Japan has no center, no authority, no stability. Dozens of warlords carve the country into competing territories, constantly fighting, constantly shifting. Kyoto slowly rebuilds, not through noble patronage, that world is gone, but through merchants and craftsmen who never left. The narrow wooden townhouses of the Gion and Nishiki districts, the ones visitors still walk through today, these are their buildings, rebuilt from ash, block by block, by people who refuse to leave. Then, in 1568 CE, one man changes everything. His name is Oda Nobunaga. Remember that name. He is 34 years old. He has already won a battle against an army 10 times his size by attacking in a rainstorm when no one expected it. He deploys firearms at scale in organized formations, at a time when most samurai commanders still trust horses and swords. He does not respect tradition, he respects results. In 1568, Nobunaga marches into Kyoto. He restores order to the markets, he clears the trade routes, and for the first time in over a century, someone with a real army is in control of the capital. But Nobunaga's control is not gentle. In 1571, he marches on Mount Hiei, the ancient Enryaku-ji monastery complex overlooking the city. Thousands of warrior monks live there, and they have been resisting his authority for years. He surrounds the mountain, orders everything destroyed, every building, every person inside. The smoke darkens the Kyoto sky for days. Then, on June 21st, 1582, it ends, violently, unexpectedly. One of Nobunaga's own generals, a man named Akechi Mitsuhide, surrounds the Honnoji Temple in Kyoto. That is where Nobunaga is staying, with a small personal guard. Nobunaga is outnumbered, betrayed, trapped. He will not be taken prisoner. He commits suicide inside the burning building. The man who was weeks from unifying all of Japan dies in a burning room in Kyoto. Now, into the chaos that follows, steps another man. His name is Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Hold on, because his story is extraordinary. He was born a peasant. His father was a low-ranking foot soldier. No family name, no noble blood, no inheritance. Nothing that, by the rules of his world, should have put him anywhere near power. And yet, through military genius, political cunning, and a personality so overwhelming that people simply could not ignore him, Hideyoshi rises. General, then ruler, then the most powerful man in Japan. By 1590, Japan is unified, and Hideyoshi directs enormous energy toward Kyoto. In 1586 CE, he builds Jurakudai, a palace inside the capital of extraordinary scale. Gold leaf screens, elaborate gardens, reception halls designed to surpass anything the Heian court ever produced. In 1588, he hosts the reigning emperor there, 5 days of banquets and ceremonies. A former peasant, hosting the Emperor of Japan in a palace grander than anything the aristocracy ever built. For the first time in over a century, Kyoto is being built, not burned. Under the Tokugawa shogunate, established in 1603, Japan makes a decision. It locks itself from the outside world. For over 200 years, no foreign trade, no foreign visitors, no outside ideas. And in that long enforced silence, Kyoto becomes something extraordinary, a civilization dedicated entirely to the perfection of its own culture. Tea ceremony, kabuki theater, no performance, silk brocade, rock gardens, flower arrangement. All of it reaching its highest form here, in these streets. Then, in 1853, American warships appear in the harbor. And everything the Tokugawa shogunate was built on, the isolation, the certainty, the frozen hierarchy, begins to collapse. The shogunate falls within 15 years. The young Emperor Meiji reclaims real political power. Japan begins modernizing at a pace that shocks the world. And then, 1869 CE. The blow Kyoto never saw coming. The emperor moves to Edo, renames it Tokyo, the eastern capital, makes it the seat of the new government. After 1,075 years as the imperial capital of Japan, Kyoto loses its throne. The population drops by a third, almost overnight. Great noble compounds around the imperial palace stand empty. Streets that were alive with the traffic of a 1,000-year-old court go quiet. The quiet feels like grief. But Kyoto does what it has always done. It adapts. In 1890 CE, a 20-kilometer canal is completed, tunneling through the mountains to bring water from Lake Biwa directly into the city. It powers Japan's first hydroelectric plant. It drives Japan's first electric streetcar, running through Kyoto's streets in 1895. In 1895 CE, the Heian Shrine is built, a reconstruction of the original imperial palace dedicated to the emperor who founded the city 11 centuries earlier. The message is deliberate, unambiguous. We are not a former capital in mourning. We are the guardian of Japanese civilization. The past becomes the city's greatest product, and the world starts paying attention. The year is 1945. Japan is losing the war. American military planners are selecting targets for the most destructive weapon ever built. Kyoto is on the list. The arguments are cold, clinical, large population, wartime industry in the surrounding region, and its symbolic value, destroying the cultural soul of Japan, some argued, would shatter national morale more completely than almost any other target. One man refuses. Henry Stimson, the U.S. Secretary of War. He removes Kyoto from the target list, personally, and when the military adds it back, he removes it again, every single time.
The targets are set.
Stimson had visited Kyoto in 1926 and 1929. He had walked its temple grounds on quiet mornings. He had seen what it was, not just a city, but a record. 12 centuries of human thought, art, and memory, preserved in wood and stone and raked gravel. He argued, at the highest levels of the American government, that no military objective could justify what erasing this city would cost the world. On August 6th, Hiroshima. On August 9th, Nagasaki. Kyoto is spared. The 15 stones of Ryoanji's rock garden, still in the exact arrangement a Zen master placed them 5 centuries ago. The wooden gates of Gion, still standing. The vermilion torii of Fushimi Inari, still climbing the mountain. One man's memory of 2 quiet mornings in a foreign city saves an entire civilization's memory. In 1997 CE, the new Kyoto station opens. Steel, glass, 15 stories. A building that looks like it belongs in a completely different city. Controversial the moment it was unveiled. Debated, resented, and slowly, grudgingly accepted. Because Kyoto is not a theme park. It is not frozen in time. It is a living city of 1.5 million people, with universities, a subway system, a global tech industry, and a bullet train that reaches Tokyo in 2 hours. And that same year, December 1997, representatives from 158 nations gather in this city to negotiate humanity's first major treaty on climate change. They name it after the city, the Kyoto Protocol. The ancient capital, founded on the idea of harmony between humanity and the natural world, gives its name to the world's promise to protect the planet. The Heian court poets, who spent centuries writing about the fragility of beautiful things, would perhaps not have found this surprising at all. Stand at Fushimi Inari Shrine at dawn, before the crowds arrive. Walk the path through thousands of vermilion gates, climbing the mountain in the cedar silence. The stone lanterns are worn smooth by weather and 1,000 years of hands. Somewhere below you, the city stretches across the same basin where Emperor Kammu stood in 794 CE and decided, this is the place. The mountains are the same mountains. The rivers are the same rivers. Kyoto has been burned by warlords, abandoned by its own emperor, destroyed by a decade of urban warfare, nearly obliterated by an atomic bomb. Every single time, it came back, not as a copy of what it was, as something that remembered what it was, and used that memory to become something the world still needed. There is a word in Japanese, mono no aware. The gentle awareness that all beautiful things pass, and that this passing is not a tragedy. It is the very source of their beauty. Kyoto has been falling and rising for 12.5 centuries, and it is still here. Still burning incense in temples founded before most nations existed. Still raking gravel into ocean waves in gardens designed before Columbus set sail. Still carrying the weight of history forward. One festival, one ceremony, one bowl of tea at a time. Kyoto didn't just survive history, it became the reason history is worth remembering. Thanks for watching. If this journey through Kyoto moved you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the cities that shaped our world. Let me know in the comments, what city should we explore next? As always, we'll see you in the past.